Hello and welcome to EFD, where today we're looking at 10 stars whose careers have stalled and the moves which could revive their reputations this summer. We start at Arsenal. 10. Alexandre Lacazette to Juventus. With Arsenal desperate to raise money for new recruits, the Londoners are likely to listen to any respectable bids for Alexandre Lacazette this summer, and the rumour mill suggests that the Gunners have already discussed the matter with Juventus. With Higuain approaching his 33rd birthday, the 29-year-old Frenchman looks like a youngster by comparison, and his ability to bring the best out of Aubameyang could make him the ideal foil for Cristiano Ronaldo. Arsenal's player of the season in 2018-19, Lacazette is no longer the darling of North London, but his numbers look essentially unchanged. Though down from 3 shots a game to 2.5, he still puts up around 0.6 expected goals and assists per 90, with his actual rate of a goal contribution every 134 minutes barely worse than Aubameyang's one every 125. At Lyon, his scoring was even better, suggesting a better team than Arsenal could get more out of him, and he also pulls his weight defensively too, ranking behind only midfielders Ceballos and Torreira for pressures in Mikel Arteta's squad. Capable of dribbling, defending and bringing teammates into play, Lacazette is a classy and experienced footballer who could be available for as little as £30 million. Turin might be the ideal change of scenery. 9. Valentino Lazaro to Gladbach. At their best last year, Borussia Mönchengladbach were a match for any team in Germany, but adding enough depth to challenge all season will be a long process. Marco Rosa's side was top in the league in mid-December, but slipped to 4th by the campaign's end, and he's moved swiftly to address a problem area, bringing in Valentino Lazaro on loan from Inter with an option to buy of just €14 million. Lazaro briefly played for Rosa at RB Salzburg and offers a significant upgrade on current right-back Stefan Leiner. Though both complete just over a dribble a game, Lazaro is 3 years younger and already a better creator, with 9 league goals and assists for Hertha Berlin in the season before he joined the Nerazzurri. He also narrowly beats his countryman for defensive output, with 2.9 tackles and interceptions per 90 to Leiner's 2.7, while his pace and ability to play on the left-hand side too should make the club more versatile and unpredictable in formation. Given that he cost Inter €22 million a year ago, Gladbach seem to be getting a bargain, just as they did with Mbolo and Marcus Thuram in 2019. If Lazaro proves equally successful, Dortmund and Leipzig will need to start looking over their shoulder. 8. Kelechi Iheanacho to Aston Villa. Written off as a flop before the 1920 season, Kelechi Iheanacho proved himself an important part of the Leicester squad as the Foxes narrowly missed out on Champions League football, with only 4 teammates outscoring him in the Prem, despite the Nigerian playing under 1,000 league minutes. In fact, if you take out penalties, Iheanacho scored or assisted more frequently than Jamie Vardy last campaign, and his tally of 0.78 expected goals and assists per 90 was not only the best at the club, it ranked 10th in the league. That shows that Iheanacho's massive output at Manchester City wasn't simply the product of playing for an elite side, and his raw numbers remain much the same as they were then, with over 3 shots a game and 1.4 key passes. And given he's still only 23, those figures could climb further, making a cut price deal a smart choice for another Premier League club. Aston Villa and Newcastle seem to agree, both contacting Leicester to register interest. But leading the line for the Magpies is a thankless task, given the lack of creativity currently in the squad. Pair Iheanacho with Grealish on the other hand, and you could see him soar, and finally make good on that frightening potential. 7. Albian Ajeti to Celtic. Now at the 5th club of his career, 23-year-old striker Albian Ajeti will hope that his latest move to Celtic can finally stick. The Swiss spent last year with West Ham, but was handed just 114 league minutes, though his poor season meant the boys paid just £4.5 million for his services, a significant discount on the £8 million paid by the Londoners 12 months earlier. In his last 2 years in Switzerland, Ajeti scored 29 and assisted 10 in 48 starts, working out to a goal involvement every 109 minutes, which ultimately bodes well, given the comparable quality of the Scottish Premiership and the Swiss Super League. He's previously played in the qualifying rounds of the Champions League too, and while he's skillful enough to participate in build-up play, his preference is to play off the last man and finish moves, suggesting he could dovetail nicely with the more creative and mobile Odsonne Edouard. After failed spells in the Prem and in the Bundesliga with Augsburg, it will be difficult for Ajeti to be seen as anything other than a flop in some quarters. But with Celtic gunning for 10 titles in a row this campaign, he could yet make himself a hero in Glasgow, rebuilding his career in the process. 6. Benjamin Henrichs to RB Leipzig. At 23, Benjamin Henrichs has already gone from Germany to France and back again, joining RB Leipzig this summer after 2 years with Monaco. That was meant to be his big break. The Principality side had just finished second, having won the league the year before, and along with Yuri Tielemans and Alexandre Golovin, Henrichs was meant to be part of another bright young side to rival the Mbappe generation. Unfortunately, Monaco couldn't keep selling their stars and expect to stay competitive. And in Henrichs' 2 years, the club has sacked Leonardo Jardim twice, as well as Thierry Henry and Roberto Moreno. As a consequence, they have come 17th and 9th in that time, allowing over 1.5 goals a game, and Henrichs has seen a personal decline too. At Bayer Leverkusen at the age of 19, he completed over a dribble a game, and made an incredible 7.2 tackles and interceptions. And though that number is still at a respectable 4, he now completes just over half his challenges, compared to more than 3/4 previously. Fortunately, his pace, anticipation and ability to play on both sides of the defence should get him plenty of game time under Nagelsmann, and target a return to the national setup, after 3 years without a cap. 5. Rafinha to Everton. Barcelona face a difficult summer this year, having put everyone up for sale but finding themselves with few customers. The Blaugrana pay their players an average wage of €11 million a year, the highest in football, making it hard to shift their stars. But that could mean they accept lower fees for smaller names, and one such player is academy graduate Rafinha, currently linked with Everton. The 27-year-old spent 2019-20 on loan at Celta Vigo and is reportedly available for just €16 million, which, given his stats, looks like a bargain. The Brazilian is coming off the best defensive season of his career, with 4.4 tackles and interceptions a game, more than anyone at Everton bar Djibril Sidibe. Not only that, he's exceptionally difficult to dispossess too, with 2.5 dribbles completed per 90. Again, better than anyone at Goodison. He even contributed to 5 goals from midfield. And best of all, he's quick and versatile enough to fit in on the flank, a useful trait in a squad often hamstrung by the inflexibility of its stars. Though keen to push up the table, the Toffees need to avoid the mistakes of the past and target reliable value signings instead of overpriced has-beens. Rafinha would be a great way to usher in this new era. 4. Tanguy Ndombele to Inter. Along with Felipe Coutinho and James Rodriguez, Tanguy Ndombele has the dubious distinction of being one of football's most talented, unwanted players this summer, with Tottenham underwhelmed by his maiden campaign. Held back by injury, Ndombele's short time under Jose Mourinho has drawn plenty of public criticism, and reports suggest the relationship between the two men is now unsalvageable. The best move for both parties could be a swap deal with Inter Milan, who are apparently willing to involve Milan Skriniar in an exchange for the Frenchman, an indication of how highly they rate him. And they're right to do so. Despite his fitness woes, Ndombele remains one of the best ball carriers on the continent, going from 2 successful dribbles a match at Lyon to 3.4 in the Prem. He also pulls his weight defensively too, winning possession over 3 times per 90. And though his shots and key passes are down, he contributed to 4 goals and assists in 1,000 minutes, the same as Eriksen before his January exit. Given Conte's record for rehabilitating limited players like Victor Moses and Ashley Young, the Italian is the perfect coach to rebuild Ndombele's confidence and show the world what made him so coveted just 12 months ago. 3. Tiemoue Bakayoko to Milan. He may not have made it at Chelsea, but Tiemoue Bakayoko has not been in the wilderness for the last 2 years. The Frenchman excelled on loan at Milan in 18-19, and though 19-20's return to Monaco hasn't been as successful, the Rossoneri have returned for him this summer, aiming to pair the lanky 26-year-old with star midfielder Ismail Benacer. Like the Algerian, Bakayoko wins possession for his side at least 4 times a game, which actually peaked at an amazing 6 just 4 years ago. But he's also skilled at dribbling upfield, completing 1.9 take-ons per match, putting him in Europe's top 20 midfielders, level with Thomas Partey and Frenkie de Jong. And his poor standing at Stamford Bridge could actually benefit Milan in closing a deal. With the Blues so keen to sell, they'd be willing to accept 20 to 25 million euros for a man they spent twice that on just 3 years ago. To make the situation even sweeter, Bakayoko is reportedly willing to take a pay cut to end his nightmare stay in West London. After years of mistakes, over-ambition and overpays in the market, this could help Stefano Pioli's side get back on course. 2. Goncalo Guedes to Wolves. Even by their standards, Valencia are a mess. Los Che finished 9th in 19-20, 17 points below the Champions League spots with a negative goal difference, after consecutive 4th place finishes under manager Marcelino. And the financial situation is even worse, with players currently being offered IOUs instead of wages as the club seeks to generate cash. But this could be good news for Goncalo Guedes, who joined the club from PSG for €36 million in 2018. Back then, the Portuguese had produced 14 goal involvements in La Liga on loan, and at 21 was expected to become a star for club and country. But injuries in his second campaign and the team's total implosion in his third has prevented him from kicking on. His shots and chances created have dropped every season, resulting in an awful record of 4 goals and assists in 21 appearances last year. However, his dribble numbers are heading up to around 3 a game again, suggesting that his fitness issues haven't permanently destroyed his talent, and a better side could get more out of him. Reportedly, Valencia will sell anyone except Jose Gaya this summer, and if Guedes could secure a move to an ambitious mid-sized team, with Wolves reportedly sniffing around, he could rediscover the form which made him so coveted in the first place. 1. Xherdan Shaqiri to Lazio. 2019-20 may have been a dream year for Liverpool, but it was a nightmare for their bench warmers, as the 11 most used players in the Red squad soaked up 80% of available league minutes. Only 12 players made more than 10 league starts, and Swiss attacker Xherdan Shaqiri, once a vital contributor, played just 182 minutes, fewer than anyone at Anfield except Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones. Shaqiri has an excellent CV, with 6 titles across 3 countries and 2 Champions Leagues, and reports suggest Lazio are targeting the 28-year-old after missing out on David Silva. And it could be a clever move. In his last 15 starts for Liverpool in European and domestic play, Shaqiri has contributed 12 goals, and his creativity would make the Eagles less reliant on Luis Alberto, with an average of 2.4 key passes per game across his entire career. He's also a hard worker, having adapted to different pressing styles under Klopp and Guardiola, and would arrive in Italy with a point to prove, just like Alberto, Immobile and Lucas Leiva. Though he has 3 years left on his contract, Shaqiri is unlikely to command a large fee. And with just 5 points between Simone Inzaghi's side and champions Juventus last season, perhaps he can help them close the gap. So guys, there are 10 transfers which could rescue a career, but who did we miss out? Let us know in the comments and we could make a part 2. Click on screen now for more great Euro Football Daily content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.